Hello. Good evening.
Oh, I love you.
Now,
Granny, this ain't like New York, but it's uptown.
do you know who that is talking in the background?
So you talk about a hen out of a cook.
A real hillbilly.
Like one up there.
Turn it down.
I'm telling you. But you know what?
Makes it
We made them so they speak colors. We brought that country out of them as anybody did. They sitting up
there's Patsy Cline.
yelling just like a bunch of hillbillies, just like they do. And
Well, I found out. Well, let's listen to Patsy.
Couldn't get them in there. We were awfully proud of having the opportunity to go that far up in high cotton.
High cotton.
Well, I guess now you say that that's the cream of the crop. And believe you me, it really did my old heart good, because little did I know who was sitting in the audience and watching, because if I had, I wouldn't have been able to win on, I'll guarantee. We had Jimmy Dean sitting in the audience.
Guaranteed.
I guess he come to see Tommy Jackson play the fiddle. He was there anyway. And above all, the most inspiring thing that I think of the whole thing that excited me the most was Princess Monoxia, who is the sister of the King of Persia. The Princess of Persia was there in the first box seat on my right. And after the show was over, she came to the fellow that was in charge of all the doing, Dr. Brooks, of the Musicians Union there in New York. And she told him, she said, well, I ain't got over it yet. She said, the girl that knocked me out, the whole act were tremendous. But she said, the most tremendous thing, as far as I'm concerned, on the show was the girl, the Cline girl. Oh, from that. Well, I was all shook up. They couldn't hold me. I said, well, why didn't she tell me? We had WSM's photographer there. I took a picture of me and her. And I hung it on the wall.
Just like
Here's
Jed
one
Clampett.
that I did up there, and it done pretty good. Got an encore on it. I guess you'd call it pretty good. Give me about an 8.
Okay, go.
Turns into music at that point, not loud. I wonder if I change that. Turn the echo thing back on. Now I found some things out. I think that works on the fly. I found some things out today. One of them is was posted in an unlisted video, because it was just a short clip, and I guess I could, I could make it listed. Yeah, that's this here. This here, where I've created an install program that doesn't have to be God in order to run. So here is an example of an install program that doesn't require any administrative access to the machine, so it doesn't ask for it. And when you run it, well, you'll see in the video, nothing happens. The other thing I figured out, and this is something to do with the fact that I have apparently one of the super duper versions of Windows, the ultimate version. So ultimate actually is slightly better, I guess, than whenever. Everything always sounds great. It's premium and ultimate and super and deluxe and all these things. I guess they fit on some kind of scale. And what I have on my system, even though it can't be accessed through any menu item, you just have to know what to type. It's this thing called the Group Policy Manager. Group Manager? Yeah. GP Group Policy Edit. And there's a setting in there, and I'm certain that you can do it on any version of Windows. And I think I know where it is in the registry. You go down to here and enable this flag. And when this flag is enabled, now when I download things from the internet, they're no longer blocked. So for instance, let me get rid of the one I have. What is that? Temp. No, download. In fact, the file that I uploaded is that same file from the other video. Here. Okay. So I've just downloaded a zip file from the internet. Terrible bad thing. And I'm going to click on it. Can't double click. And run this program called Setup. See? It didn't say no yellow box, no white box, no any box. All this program does, if I install it, I don't want to install it, is it installs a little quick list program, but it doesn't put it in the right place. It has to go somewhere else. So now I believe that flag is here. No. I thought I saved it. Oh, I may have exported it. Yeah, I think this is it. If you set this to 0, that might do it on your machine. So local machine, software, policies, Microsoft, Windows, safer, code identifiers. Now it may not even be there, so you gotta try and type it in correctly. Authentic code enabled equals 0. Authentic code enabled equals 0. So that means that it doesn't do this thing where it marks everything else that you download as unsafe. And the policy manager, you know, a different name. It has to do with attachments. I assume they're referring to like if you had an attachment in an email or something. But it goes for anything that comes from the internet. And what it's doing is it's not preserving the information about where it came from. This is zone information. When this is enabled. The default is unconfigured, which means that it does preserve. So the default is to preserve, and see, if you do not configure this policy, marks attachments with zone information. If you disable, marks with zone information. If you enable, does not mark with zone information, and that's why when I downloaded that zip file, it was not marked as unsafe. It wasn't unsafe anywhere. And the point is not so much to get rid of the dialog, but to get rid of those dialogues in general. And lastly, now this is something I figured out partly on my own and partly from this website. I always wanted to know how do you get these things in here, you know? Like I know about send to, you just make a link and put it in a special folder. But I wanted to put one in there, specifically two things that I wanted. And one of them is, look, I can double click. I want to be able to, you know, if I'm way down some directory here, and I want to bring the command prompt here, I want to just be able to do this and say command here, and here it is. See, I didn't have to type anything out. I have that in the reverse direction. If I'm here, and if I didn't have Explorer, oops, Explorer wasn't there, I can just type Explorer, and that will open Explorer in this directory. So now I can do it in both directions. The other thing is, that was, I had selected this on this side, and that took me to that directory. When it's on this side, if I select a file, it just takes me to here, collected on physics. Alright, and this isn't a directory, so it didn't do anything. But if I select a directory, it will put me inside that directory. Now that's not so bad. The reason I wanted to do that is because of this thing. In particular, anyway. Well, I was trying to find temp the other day, and it turns out that temp is one of those hidden, or within here or something. Here, right? Now, normally these things expand when I go here. So the only way for me to get, if I wanted to, if I was, let's say, here, you know, I don't know, let me go any deeper. but still, I'd have to copy this and so on. But if I can just select the directory, then I can get my command box here quickly. And the way to do that is, as this guy has explained, he made a couple of mistakes, but for one thing, you can make an association appear in this part of the menu, like an open with type thing. And all you do for that is you just follow through these instructions, like I did .allen, and then I made a type called Allen file, and I typed in all these things. I didn't fill any of this in except for this last bit, and it's not double slash, it's one slash. Of course, both work, and %1 is the argument. The first thing passed via the click to the file. So when I click this command here, in fact, this value, this name, was passed in, but I don't use it in that case. But in the directory case, I do use the value passed in to take me to the directory. And okay, so now how do I do that bit? Okay, well, the first bit, if you want to be able to click on any file and have it do something, you go under the star subfolder of HKey classes root, and then shell, and make up the name of your command, and then specify what that command is. Now here's my command. It's the command prompt and some switches. This runs a batch file, and this is a switch that tells this batch file not to do the usual thing, which is to take me to my return directory, what I call it. Just run through and then quit. Okay, so that works for files, and I don't need the %1. For directory, we look for the folder type. So folders like a type. Okay, just as got text as a type, and again go to shell. I don't know what this is. Now, most of these things use these weirdo delegate things. I don't know. You don't need to, but you don't need to. All you need to do is make up a name and make a command. And again, I'm running the same command processor with switch. And I have to put this one in quotes because this time it's taking a special switch, which is that I want it to change to this directory where it's passed in, and therefore I must have quotes, all that stuff. So there you go. You've learned maybe you've learned how to turn off that block everything you download flag, and you now know, if you care, and if it's something that you would like to have, a way. It works with, by the way, it works with links. It goes in the middle when it's a directory. See? It resolved that link. So this is in favorites, right? But it's a link file, and for some reason or other it works. It took me to the link. So it would be as if I clicked on this and ended up in that folder, but I didn't go there, which is interesting. It's added a little bit of more flexibility to what I can do now, because normally if I click this now, I lose this menu, stays where it is, and then I wind up with some directory. But doing it this way, I haven't moved, so I can go and open this one too, and I'm still there, right? And I'm going to run this one. So now it doesn't have to be a command box. It could be anything you like. It's up to you to think of some way that you might find that useful. I think it's kind of useful that I can go quickly to a directory in the command box and not have to have this change its position. And it's also sort of useful that I can go into a folder that way. Not very. I just I want to click this, but I can't. In that case where I just showed you I guess I wasn't clear enough. That case that I showed you with temp, the other temp. Here, here, here. Like I said, it doesn't expand, right? So I can't click on here. If I want to go backwards or something, there's no way, I can go backwards, I guess, but I can't get to the next directory, or I can't see the tree. But this works. Right. I'd like it to expand, but it won't. Well, I guess maybe it would if well, it's all hidden. Anyway, okay, that's just a little nothing thing, and I hope that you enjoyed learning all those things. And now you can go and impress your friends with it, and that's it. Okay. I'm still trying to think of something to do next. Drawing is something. I'm very, very happy with my tool here. One thing that's different about this one, by the way, is that these don't have to be text files. Like this here is a PDF file. It happens to be a book that I like to read, and so I put it in my quick list. I read a chapter, and then unfortunately, it's not deja vu format, which remembers what page you're on. It's just a PDF file, and that, as far as I know, I don't know any way to have it stay on the same page. Once I close it, I gotta find out where I was. Okay, see you soon.